So y'all remember The Sims, right? This is a seminal franchise in the video game industry that broke barriers between hardcore and casual gamers. The appeal of building a life for virtual characters from scratch was universal and immediate when the first game released almost 2 decades ago back in 2000. Now, after Sims 2, some would argue that the series has been on a bit of a decline as EA's influence further seeped into Maxis until its main studio in Emerville was forced to shut down. While the Maxis brand still exists within EA as a husk, the Maxis that people knew and loved was no more as of March 2015. The latest entry in the Sims franchise is Sims 4, which was released months prior to when EA shut down Maxis. At launch, the game was met with mixed reception by critics and near universal disdain from fans of the series, both citing how Sims 4 lacked some key content, features, and substance from past entries. It was clear that EA had rushed an incomplete product so that players would have to pay for the rest piece by piece. This isn't unfamiliar territory when it comes to EA, with some of the most prominent examples including Star Wars Battlefront, a game that was rushed to release in a bare-bones state before selling expensive DLCs that players would have to shell out extra cash for to make the experience feel feature complete. Mass Effect Andromeda, a game that was rushed to release despite the fact that it clearly needed a couple more months to cook in the oven with its bugs and notoriously terrible facial animations, and Battlefield 4, a rushed game that launched with tons of bugs and game-crashing glitches. Sims 4's fate would prove to be no different, unfortunately, 3 years into its life cycle, and we're looking at 4 expansion packs, 6 game packs, and 14 stuff packs, which are essentially large, medium, and small DLC respectively. Each expansion pack costs $40, each game pack costs $20, and each stuff pack costs $10. If you do the math on top of the initial fee you'll be paying to purchase the base game, that is an additional $420 you'll have to shell out for additional content. Granted, previous Sims entries employed similar types of expansions and DLC released in similarly large quantities, but at the very least, past Sims games were a mostly feature-complete product that expanded upon a solid foundation with new content that was more fairly priced and more densely packaged. With Sims 4, on the other hand, there was a lot of stuff that came default in past entries that were inexcusably excluded and then later sold separately via the packs. But where things go from bad to worse for Sims 4 is in the way it handles its latest DLC release called My First Pet Stuff. This is one of the smaller DLCs, one of the stuff packs, and what it does is add new, smaller household pets like hamsters, new pet-themed furniture, and pet outfits. Seems innocent enough at a glance, but here's the caveat. In order to take full advantage of this stuff pack, you have to purchase the Sims 4 Cats and Dogs expansion pack. My First Pet Stuff isn't a self-contained content package, it's an expansion of the Cats and Dogs expansion. In other words, we are looking at a scenario in which EA is selling DLCs for their DLCs. To make matters worse, the content featured in My Pet Stuff, the new pets, the new furniture, the outfits, are all things that Sims fans universally agree should have been included in the expensive $40 Cats and Dogs expansion. After all, in past entries, the Pets expansion felt much more feature complete, featuring animals like birds, snakes, and mice alongside the cats and dogs. By comparison, the way Sims 4 is handling additional content feels like blatant, cheap cash grab. Some might argue that maybe it took the developer some time to finish creating this stuff, but why not just release this as a free update for the Cats and Dogs expansion? Why charge an additional $10 for something that should have been included in the original package? Well, because EA is EA, that's why, because the notorious publisher will look for any opportunity to nickel and dime its consumers. Unsurprisingly, one gander at forums like the Sims subreddit will reveal that fans of the Sims series are pissed. They are becoming privy to the fact that EA is diluting content more and more, breaking them up into smaller pieces while selling them at equal or higher price than before so that they can take what's missing and then sell that separately alongside the highly priced expansions. EA was already notorious enough for watering down games at launch to sell the missing pieces separately, but for them to take this shady practice a layer deeper by watering down expansions to sell their missing pieces separately at high prices, That's about as scummy and anti-consumer as you can get, and it only goes to further confirm how little regard EA has for its consumers. If we don't call this crap out now, if we let this become a successful financial endeavor, if they get away with this, I can guarantee you that EA will employ similar tactics for future titles, and other publishers are bound to follow soon. That's how all scummy business trends get started. That's how loot boxes became a thing. It took one success story for the gaming industry to start flocking to get a piece of the pie. And I don't know about you, but I certainly don't want diluted expansions and DLCs within DLCs to become a trend. We have got enough crap to deal with as it is. These are just one man's thoughts and opinions anyway. I'd love to hear what your take is on all of this in the comments below. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy my content, consider supporting me on Patreon. It is completely optional, but donating even as little as $1 a month will go a long way in helping this channel grow. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.